Well, the LIT isn't going to do anything about it since the death of Amelia, so I think the police are going to be the only crime stoppers in this town. But I don't really want to talk about it this late in the day. Well, I want to know about your day, honey. It isn't as exciting as the mysterious book you've been working on with the university publication. Oh, the Smith book? Yes, well, I wanted to finish the first draft before I showed it to you. I'm not too happy with you publishing the final work of a murderer. Well, that's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Can we really separate the work from its maker? The maker being a writer, but also a murderer. I don't think we can. Well, it's not like anything I've ever read. Nothing like Boris the Wow or Edgar Allan Poe. There's nothing like it on the market. Despite all that, have you finished it? Okay, I have it here. Frank Hampton Barnes. Wasn't his name the very boring George Smith? Yeah, I thought that was strange too. When we found the manuscript, that's what he put on the first page and the cover, so just to keep it how he would have wanted it, we decided to keep it. Oh, I see. Well, is it any good? It's beyond anything he's ever written in class. Read it to me. Of course, honey. Intertwining roots attach themselves to many a strange thing when growing up and out. Our apples during one restless autumn grew more waste than wealth, but my aching hand continued to write. My legs of iron never stayed in the same position under my writing desk for long, so my lined paper aged quickly. Babe? Now students, as we talked about very briefly last week, today we'll be discussing our second piece of assessment for this term. Now, all you have to do for this assignment is just choose one of the poets that we have discussed in class, choose one of their poems and analyse it into a very structured and analytical essay. You would have to report it to the class, read out aloud, and that will be in 3 weeks' time. Miss Murphy? Yes, Florence? I recognise everyone on this list except one. Oh, very well spotted, Florence. I have chosen a local writer who is not very well known, but I feel that his work will no doubt become a classic. What's his book about? Book being the key word there, Catherine. He only has one out. Just one? That's right, Pearl. It is called The Black Seed. What's it about? To be frank, I don't know what it's about. There is a legend, students, that Frank Hampton Barnes never saw his work be published. It is apparent that he disappeared before his book was published, but there is a rumour that there's only 2 copies available. How is any one of us supposed to do a book report on it if there's only so many copies of it? Oh no, you can choose to do Hampton Barnes. It's just if you're very lucky to find a copy of his book, that is. Miss Murphy, I think I'm going to do my report on Hampton Barnes. Oh, excellent, Pearl. Well done for committing yourself to a challenge. Now, if anyone else is not going to do Frank Hampton Barnes, I do commend you, Pearl, on doing such an advantageous task. To be honest, I cannot help you with your search to find the Black Seed. I've tried for many months and I haven't been successful. It is like he doesn't exist. Well, then how do people know of him and his only book? Well, just after the first edition was published, the publisher himself, who was a professor at the university Frank Hampton Barnes was taught at, he too went missing. And he only got 2 copies printed before he went missing? There was only 2 paperbacks ever published. Well, Miss Murphy, I'll do my book report on Jerry Hart. But Jerry Hart didn't finish his last book. I was being sarcastic. both of us can do a book report on a book that doesn't exist. Hey, Miss Murphy, how many words are we supposed to be doing for this report? Florence, I'd say aim for about 500 to 700 words, double space. Double space, everyone. But Pearl, I'm very excited to read your essay and hear your speech. I look forward to trying to find the book.
LCP. LCP. LCP.
Hello, we've reached the Littlesborough College office. How may I transfer your call? Hi there. Could I speak with the Littlesborough College publication, please? One moment, please. Sure.
LCP, this is Mrs. Patrick.
Hello there. This is Pearl Black. I'm calling about The Black Seed by Frank Hampton Barnes.
Are you from the press?
No, I'm a high school student from Rollington High.
What was your name? Pearl, was it?
Yes, ma'am.
The Black Seed was single-handedly published by Mr. Derek Stewart via the Littlesborough College Press.
Great. Do you know where I can find this Derek Stewart?
He's gone on holiday to Spain.
Oh, okay. Do you know when he'll be Hello? I got? Oh my goodness me. Pearl? Pearl, are you ready? Ready for what? To do your speech, of course, about Frank Hampton Balm. It's due today. Are you ready? Of course I am. I've been practicing all weekend. May I remind you, everyone, that Pearl is the only one who has decided to do Frank Hampton Balm for her speech. So I'm very excited for this one. Very excited. Ready, Pearl? Oh, yes, I'm ready. But before I begin my speech, I just want to quote the very powerful opening lines of Frank Hampton Balm's The Black Seed. Okay. Intertwining roots attach themselves to many strange things when growing up and out. Our apples during one restless autumn grew more weight than wealth, but my aching hand continued to write. My legs of iron never stayed in the same position under my writing desk for long. So my lined paper aged quickly. What on earth was that? Miss Murphy? Bloody typical. As soon as the lights come on, she disappears, just so she doesn't have to do a speech. Bloody typical. I didn't think it was true, but I think the legend about the Black Seed has come into fruition. Legend? Where's Pearl? What legend? When Pearl announced that she was going to do her report on the Black Seed, I didn't think she'd actually find a copy. In my search, I tried all ways of trying to find one, and the publisher, Derek Stewart, his wife, I managed to come in contact with her, and she said, if you find one, do not read it out. Don't read it out loud. What would have happened if you found a copy and read it out? What has just happened to Pearl is what would have happened if I read it out. Where's Pearl, Miss Murphy? Pearl didn't just find a copy of the Black Seed, she became it. God, I shouldn't have put his name on the poets list. Then why did you, if you knew all this? You're all fine, intelligent, young students. I should have known one of you would be persistent enough for the challenge to find this. Where is she? The book, Catherine. I think she's inside. Catherine, much like Frank Hampton Balm, or his actual name, George Smith, and the publisher, Derek Stewart, Pearl Black has just joined them. I don't understand. None of you will see her again.